Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is August 6th. So today is going to be an interesting day. Things are starting to heat up for the next week or so. We're going to see things just kind of continuously come out and be a little spicy and shocking. So today, though, we want to slow down. We want to listen. We want to pay attention to what's happening around us. Actually take in what's being said, what's coming out, and not pushing it off. The moon is in Capricorn. It is being ruled by that Saturn retrograde in Aries, of course, that is in conjunction with the Neptune. So this is like our subconscious and emotional self being ruled by the reveals, having to take responsibility for your own action, putting in the work and things like that. Now, the only aspect the moon makes today is an opposition to Jupiter, and that happens at right around 11:30 Mountain Time this morning, and then it goes void until tomorrow night. That there is going to be this very push and pull energy of Jupiter and Cancer that is wanting to take care of each other, take care of people, take care of your family, be kind and considerate, just be free type of energy. It's in an opposition to the moon wanting to put in the work and build something and make something happen. The moon is debilitated in Capricorn. It tends to kind of go into like workaholic mode, but it is also ruling that Jupiter in Cancer. So it's kind of merging together, but at the same time fighting with each other, especially because it's being ruled with that Saturn Neptune retrograde, where like you've got all these people above you thinking that they know better than you. They're telling you what to do. They're not taking any responsibility for their own stuff. Now, we also have Mars sitting at 29 degrees of Virgo most of the day until around 5:30 at night when it moves into Libra. So the majority of the day, that Mars, that drive, that passion, the planet of action is kind of sitting in high anxiety. It's just like you feel like you've got to do something and you just don't know what it is. Maybe you've had these plans that you've been wanting to put into play so much all this time and like it's just not working out for you kind of thing. And so it could be a very frustrating day all day. And then the Mars moves into Libra, and this is where we're going to start seeing people like lashing out at each other, folks wanting to stand up for injustices, some people going into people-pleasing mode and backing down. There's going to be a lot of people starting to use intimidation tactics to try to force other people to bend to their will, can't talk, because that Mars is going to be ruling the Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries. And a lot of people are just doubling down on they are who they are and they're going to tell everybody else who to be type of energy instead of taking responsibility for themselves. So we got to watch out for that. But today, with the moon being void all day, most of the day today, and all day tomorrow, where we need to slow down, because when the moon is resting, we need to rest. We're going to observe. Everybody else around you probably going to be reacting to this, trying to make things happen where they're just not happening. But when the moon is void, anything that you start under a void moon does not stick usually. It's just a time to observe and pay attention to what's coming out. Now, we are going into this full moon on Saturday. It's going to be pretty shocking and kind of big. So if you start paying attention now, you might not get as caught off guard come this weekend with the full moon. And that Mars, as soon as it enters Libra this evening, it's going to start making some aspects that's really going to start bringing a lot of confusion and anger into the play. Cards, bottom of the deck was the Hangman. This is that kind of wait and see type of energy, slowing down, observing, and kind of just what's my next step type of energy. We don't want to actually take that next step, but we do want to pay attention to what it might be. The energy of the day, though, is the Knight of Cups. This is that Jupiter in Cancer, where we are wanting to take care of each other. We are wanting to be kind and compassionate and nurturing type of energy. You're wanting to kind of just get out there and be loving, be kind to each other. But what we're going to focus on is the Page of Swords. This is curiosity. Pay attention to the information that is coming out. Make a note of it. It's going to come up later. Really sit back and observe kind of energy. Pages are considered students and messengers, right? So we're really listening to those messages and we're learning from them. What we're avoiding is the Five of Cups. We don't want to let that Mercury retrograde get to us too awful much, especially with Mars at that 29th degree, that aneretic degree. It's being ruled by that Mercury retrograde. We want to try our best to stay out of our head and stop going into regret. The past is the past. Those retrogrades are for us to review and process, not to beat ourselves up over it. So really don't get lost in your head. When you get lost in your head, that's when you stop paying attention to what's actually being said around you. Let's pull our clarifiers here. Clarifiers for the Knight of Cups. We have a 9 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. So this is really all about, like, we want to, the energy is like, we just want to be comfortable. We don't want to be, we kind of want to walk away from these things that are holding us down. We just want to find a space where we're just comfortable and we can just live and be kind to each other. That is that energy of the day here. Clarifiers for our Page of Swords. We have the 2 of Pentacles, that one was flying, and the 3 of Wands. So we are paying attention to the information that's coming out. We are learning from that information, and what we're learning here is what kind of little juggling act do we need to do to bring in what it is that we are actually wanting, the things that truly light you up. Remember, I've been saying for a long time, get comfortable with being uncomfortable and think about what is truly important. What is it that you would need to do to really actually find that true happiness that lights you up, rather than just what fulfills a bank account or appeases other people type of energy? So really pay attention to what's coming up. That's going to help guide you through these next steps. Clarifiers for our 5 of Cups here. We have an Ace of Wands. An Ace, that is wild. I got the same thing today. That is so freaking crazy. They're the Ace of Wands and Ace of Swords together. If you're getting stuck in that distraction of the past, if you're getting stuck in the regret of the past, we're not really hearing the new messages that are coming out, right? These new messages that are coming out, they're helping you find your joy. They're helping you find your place that lights you up, that gives you that fire and that drive, right? So be honest, pay attention to what's coming out, pay attention to whether or not the people around you are being honest, and be honest with yourself about really what makes you happy, right? When we get, like I said, I'm convinced that like the whole way the world is right now with this hustle culture and all of that, I know it sounds a little conspiracy theorist, but it's almost like it's intended to keep us so busy and overwhelmed, we don't pay attention to what's happening around us. So we really got to take a step back and really pay attention to what's coming out. That way we can adjust appropriately for ourselves, for our own fulfillment. Bottom of the deck is 9 of Wands. So have those boundaries. Remember that Saturn retrograde in Aries is showing you where you need to have better boundaries when it comes to being your authentic self, telling other people to stop bossing you around, stop telling you who to be.